Hey.
Old is a 2021 film release. It's PG-13 and it runs 1 hour and 48 minutes. It is directed by M. Night Shyamalan. It is written for the screen by M. Night Shyamalan, based off the graphic novel Sandcastle by Piri Oxker Lede and Frederick Peters. It stars Gael Garcia Bernal and Vicky Krieps as the husband and wife.
So I'd say upon seeing trailer to this film, I question myself if I've actually seen every M. Night Shyamalan movie. And I guess the answer would have to be no. I've not seen every single film that he's directed or was in the main driver's seat with the film. I know there's quite a few, and I know that I've probably seen more of the more popular ones, but I know I haven't seen all of them. And so going into this film, it was kind of hard to kind of, in this necessary thing, what would be his best film. But I went into the sense that, well, maybe this could be his best film that I've ever seen from M. Night Shyamalan.
A vacation family discovers that the secluded beach where they are relaxing for a few hours is somehow causing them to age rapidly, reducing their entire lives into a single day.
Upon watching, much like every M. Night Shyamalan film, there's some oddity, there's some thriller-ish times in the movies, some things that just seem really odd about the films and maybe a little creepy. So I went into this film thinking that I would find the same elements within this film. I mean, you know what I'm talking about when we're watching an M. Night Shyamalan film. There are some things that just don't necessarily always add up, and that's kind of maybe why we would like watching his films, is that he tells stories that are definitely not your regular type stories. The setting seems to be a normal setting. We are with a family, husband and wife, and 2 kids, and they're going on a trip. It looks like they're going on vacation of some sort, and much like any vacation, the kids are kind of a little restless along the way, worried about, are they there yet, that kind of thing. When they pull up, we realize it's this very nice resort, and you're like, okay, they know how to vacation, get settled in, they meet the staff, they, find out their room and where they're going to be sleeping for the next 2 nights, and it just seems like it's going to be a great time. The kids are anxious to get to the beach, and as they're kind of meeting and mingling with the people, also at the resort, they meet another young boy that's looks like he lives there, or he kind of explains to them that he lives there. And so it's just like, best friends starting out. They kind of start hanging out, and they kind of start meeting other guests. And we, as the viewer, we start to kind of see the other guests along the way. At a certain point, we kind of feel that there's some kind of a tension going on between the husband and wife, and we're not necessarily clear what that tension is, but as they kind of explain the situation, it looks like there's maybe an illness, maybe they're leading up to a divorce. It's not necessarily fully clear, maybe even some infidelity. It's not clear because they're talking about things that had happened in the past, and just kind of normal argumentative stuff. But we also see how it affects the kids. As they hear their parents arguing in the other room, they kind of seek each other out to kind of comfort themselves in that moment. As the story develops, we get to a point where I guess the head director of the resort is just kind of making his rounds and just making sure everyone is having a good time. They come to the husband and wife that we were introduced to, and he recommends, being that he hears that the kids want to go to the beach, he recommends a secluded beach that they can be driven to and spend the day at and be picked up and brought back. And so it sounds, based on his recommendation, as a beautiful opportunity, and so the family decides to go there, and they're super stoked. As they get onto the bus and head to this secluded island, they find out that this director didn't only tell them of the secluded spot, he kind of shared the wealth. And we see that we've seen some of these characters at the resort and kind of know a little bit about them, but not too much. But we're curious now that they are all going to this secluded beach. So the drive's, it's seemingly longer than expected, but they get there safely, and surprised, they get boxes of food or baskets of food, but they don't get anyone to help them carry it down. And they're expected to make the trek down to the beach and know how to get there and just kind of spend the day, and then the bus will be called when they're ready to come home and pick them up. And so the people, unknowing, just kind of expecting, to kind of enjoy the time, they take what the driver has told them and they head down, and they make the little maneuver through the rocks to the beach, and it opens up into this beautiful space where there's a beach, and it's beautiful. I mean, at that point they're like, okay, the director knows what he's talking about. The kids start to search the beach to kind of see where they're going to play or explore, and it seems like it's going to be a good setup. This is the setup to a good day. As they're all doing this, the daughter of the group that we're following notices that there's someone also already there, just kind of sitting on the sand in the shade and just enjoying it. And it comes out that it's someone that she knows that's a celebrity, a rapper or something like that. And she's so fanning on him that her dad doesn't know who she's talking about, but he lets her know just to give him some space. Everyone's on vacation. He doesn't need to get in his face. But at a certain point, as the kids are playing tag, the young boy from the main family is surprised by a body that just kind of floats up on him as he's hiding in this spot in the water. And so it freaks him out. Now people are on alert. People are on alert. And being that they just got there, they know it wasn't any of them that kind of had anything to do with this. They assumed that the guy that was already there had something to do with it. And it turns out it was his girlfriend, or a girl that he was spending time with on the beach. At that point, the people are kind of on alert. Okay, let's just say that they are on alert, and they're searching for the phones to call back to get some authorities down here to kind of solve this and soothe the situation. At that point, there's another couple that shows up just about that time. The bus just dropped, and they kind of think to hurry back to see if they can catch them, to see if they can get some authorities down here and solve the situation. But as they go back through the pathway that they came through, the same guy that ran through can't make it through because he gets this massive headache, and he finds himself back up on the beach, passed out. And everyone's like, "Where'd you go? What happened?" Everyone doesn't know what's happening, but he explains the situation. They got this massive pressure in his head, and he couldn't get through. A few other people try the same thing, and now they start to question what's really going on with this beach, this dead body, and they question the whole thing of coming to this resort. I think the main thing to me, outside of the story, outside of your typical things, is his ability to direct the camera to make the situation that much more dramatic, thrillerish, make you question, because it makes you, the viewer, become a character that doesn't necessarily have a voice, but you can see what's going on. You can see. And so sometimes what he does is kind of keep you from being able to see what's going on, and that allows the mystery to kind of be even heightened at that moment. And so for this film, Old, written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan, I'm giving it a 3.5. I feel that this is a interesting film, interesting concept. I think at the same time executed well, in the sense that as a viewer, I wanted to be put in the same position M. Night puts me in as he uses the camera, in the sense of I just want to be a voyeur and just kind of watch and see how these people deal with the situation. So that has been my review for Old, a 2021 film release written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan. If you like this review, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you actually seen this movie and you have a different take, make sure to leave that different take in the comment box below. Or maybe if I missed something that you'd like to share, make sure to leave that in the comment box below as well. And then also, if you like the content that I'm putting out, make sure to subscribe. And so for next week, the film that I'll be reviewing is Iron Claw. So, like we always do this time, have a blessed day. I will see you on the flip side. Let's go.